Hello crafty friends, this is card 28 in Full Deck Challenge 2. The prompt today is leftovers. And what do I mean by leftovers? All the little bits and pieces left over on your desk after you finished a project or two. That can include scraps of paper, pieces of tissue paper, die cuts, fabrics, anything that is left over, even if it's tiny little pieces. I put all of mine into a box and then I use it for projects. Today, we're going to use just pieces from this box to decorate our card. This will really get you out of your comfort zone. First, we're just going to pick a few pieces that we feel we want to use today. They don't have to be coordinating. You don't have to think about it too much. Just grab a few pieces that you find interesting. I think this is a great way to tidy up your desk. When I'm finished a project, I have lots of things lying around because I don't always use everything that I've taken out, including little die cuts, even buttons, and I don't want to always take the time to put everything back in its place. I want to get on with the next project. So I just scoop everything into the box and leave it to the side and use that for projects like this. Once we've taken out the interesting pieces we think we want to use, we're going to start gluing this down. I'm using Mod Podge, and for once I'm not actually adding a tissue paper first. I'm sticking everything down directly onto the face of the card. Don't think about this part too much. Just take a piece and stick it down. We want to let ourselves go here and have a little bit of freedom. So don't be afraid that you're sticking down the wrong thing or it's not going to match. Just go for it. Honestly, what is the worst that could happen? If you don't have Mod Podge, you could also use a glue stick if all your pieces are of paper base. But you could also use craft glue or gel medium. It's never too late to join in the Full Deck Challenge. It's a great way to try new techniques and come out of your comfort zone. I don't have many rules. There are no timelines. Cards come out randomly when I get inspiration and I get time. You don't have to follow each card in order. You can start at any time, in any deck, and with any theme. You can follow my prompts or you can just use my ideas for inspiration. If you are on Facebook, you can join my group there. Just search Full Deck Challenge Group. Once everything is stuck down, we're going to dry it and then we're going to trim off the excess. I'm just tearing it off because I like that rough look. It is like a scrappy kind of card. You can use a scissors if you want a neater look. And then just ensure all your little corners are stuck down well. I have a small little gap that's bothering me on the top right hand corner, so I'm going to add another piece of scrap paper there. At this point, I thought about using some gesso, but then I said no gesso for this project, which is quite big for me. I use gesso in everything, so we're just going to leave it as is. I have this die cut that was in my box, and I want to use it in my project as a focal point. It's a little too big, so I'm just trimming it down. Keep the leftover bits, we could use them somewhere else. And to make it stand out, I'm going to add the lime green cardstock behind it. I'm going to fold it over and do it like a tab. And because this card is quite rough and ready, I'm just going to staple the tab down. You don't have to, you could also machine stitch it or you could glue it down, whichever way you prefer. The only thing that I'm going to add that was not in my box is some black thread. I do feel it needs a little bit of texture, so I'm doing some scrumpling of the thread underneath my focal point flower and then I'm going to glue that down. I then had a handwritten piece of paper that wrote happy scraps and I wanted to use that. At first I was going to use the word happy, but then I decided to use the word scraps as that's what I've used for this project. I'm just tearing it down to be smaller and to have torn edges all the way around, and I'm just going to go over it to make it a little darker with my black fine liner pen. And then I'm going to glue that down using some clear craft glue. You could also use double-sided tape or even a glue stick. And then I thought about whether I should frame it or not. I went back and forth a bit and then decided to do it. So using my black fine liner pen again, I'm just going around it just to make that word scrap stand out and frame it a little bit. One last small addition just to make the whole thing pop is some acrylic paint splatter. I'm using white watered down acrylic paint with a fan brush and just doing very light little sprinkles over the entire card. I really hope you enjoyed this video and were inspired to start a little scrappy box if you don't have one, and then to use the items in there to create an altered playing card like mine. I hope it has helped you to think outside the box, maybe try something new, and of course have lots of fun. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. Happy creating, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.